Good afternoon, everybody. It's Stephen and Paul back at you for the 25th episode of the Daily Brief for, October 11th. It's actually a long weekend up here in Canada, so consider yourself lucky I'm here.
Huh?
And, yeah. But
apparently it's Columbus Day or something.
Yeah.
Something about, celebrating the time that some, American some European came over here and,
there's some guy by the name of Columbus?
And, slaughtered a whole bunch of natives. And
now, I did hear, though, there's another interesting rumor going around that Microsoft launched something today.
I heard that, too. There was a whisper on the wind that Windows Phone 7
really
may actually have been announced today, yeah.
Holy crap. I guess
but you know what? I reckon it takes something rather large to get Stephen Fry out of bed.
Mr. Apple. Here's the thing. Mr. Apple fanboy himself, probably beaten out only by John Gruber and M.G. Siegler, but much more well-known than those two. He actually likes it.
Yeah, he actually turned up and spoke or did some piece or other at the Windows Phone 7 event, which happened this morning in New York, and he wasn't even paid for it.
No.
So this wasn't them rolling out the celebrities that are on the paycheck. This was Stephen Fry of all sorts of fame. He's probably the most popular queer guy in the world, and and of course for the absolutely brilliant QI that he does, and Jeeves and Wooster as well, if anybody remembers back that far, back to my youth. But yeah, he turns up, and you know what? He said the reason he's impressed with it is because it's fun.
Yep.
He also thanked Microsoft for making Windows 7 better than Vista, but he didn't. You see, this is the kind of guy he is, and this is why you have to take Stephen Fry's opinion as being very, very honest, right? He thanked them for making Windows 7 better than Vista, but then he also turned around and on the spot said, "But then again, the shit on my shoe is better than Vista."
Yeah.
So when he's not afraid to give his opinion. If it's crap, he'll tell you.
No, he also said Microsoft now gets it. They get that people are human beings first.
Yes, they do. And, well, they don't. They do and they don't. When you look at the new okay, folks, I know you're all waiting to hear the details of Windows Phone 7. We're going to get to it. But in the new the Microsoft ads for Windows Phone 7, it's very, very simple. They have the, a phone to save us from our phones.
Yeah.
That's the tagline. But as John Gruber, who also major Apple, probably the biggest Apple fanboy on the planet, and likes Windows Phone 7, pointed out today, Microsoft gets lost in the hyperbole, because what they did at the speeches today was just rhetoric and bollocks and words for the sake of unnecessary words. They should have stuck with a phone to save us from our phones, and that would have been it.
Yes.
Now, do we want to start giving the details to people?
Sure.
All right.
Might as well.
Guys, as we have predicted, October 21st is the official European launch date for Windows Phone 7. And we will be seeing them here in the US on November the 8th. 9 phones are rolling out across 30 countries and 60 carriers.
Yeah.
So they are doing this.
Oh, yeah.
Big time.
I had a look at a couple of the phones. Which one's your favorite of the ones getting released?
Probably the LG at the moment is my favorite, because it has the 4.3-inch screen. I like the larger screen. I really like the look of the Dell. Is it the Optimus? I like that, but it's got the vertical keyboard, the vertical QWERTY keyboard. I like that. I'm not sure about this LG model that has the slide-out surround sound speaker.
No, that's the HTC.
Sorry, that was the HTC. Yeah. It's got this slide-out surround sound speaker, and I'm like, what?
They're going after the media generation. What can you say?
They are. $199 for all the phones with a 2-year contract. They're all at the same price.
Well, now let's clarify that, because we're coming from a non-Canadian point of view on that one, because even though they have announced that both TELUS, Rogers, and Bell will be carrying Windows Phone 7, you can almost be assured that it will be a 3-year contract.
You can almost be assured, but we don't have any sort of proof on that.
Or
one
launch date.
One of the things I am kind of worried about is a lot these earlier phones that we're seeing apparently don't have media cards. You can't pop in media cards, so just like this thing here, an Apple device. You can't pop in an SD card into it because there's nowhere to pop one in. And the storage levels on some of these seem a little bit low in that regard. But then again, remember, these are first generation devices, and they're already kicking butt in many senses. No copy and paste, but it is on its way. That we have been assured of.
2011, early 2011.
Early 2011. For here in North America, we have confirmed that we're going to have AT&T, T-Mobile, Sprint, Verizon then in 2011 as carriers.
Once they get out of their snit.
The list of carriers worldwide is too huge to mention. But just some off the top of the hat, which would be the bigger names out there. We're talking about O2 for the United Kingdom. Germany, you've got Orange. They're everywhere in Europe. They're practically everywhere, but mostly France and the UK. They're also coming out with Deutsche Telekom,
Vodafone,
German as well. Vodafone. Of course, they're also coming out in Asia. They're going to be on Singtel and Telstra and Vodafone down there. Everywhere. These, as we said, 30 countries, 60 carriers, 9 devices. Now, while everybody is saying that the product is great, we have people already lining up to say that it's going to fail. And the logic behind it going to fail is either A, that, at launch there won't be enough apps, or to quote, one Robert Scoble, it'll be all hat and no cattle. Now, he wrote that post prior to launch. CrunchGear, after launch, came out with a title for their post, Windows Phone 7. Solid platform, sorry future. In other words, saying that it's going to fail as well because it's too late to the game.
Well, see, here's the thing, okay? Everybody's going on about the apps being the key, and I will agree to a very large degree. But with a qualification here, okay? Number one, we're going back to the first generation iPhone, all right, and the first generation of the App Store there. But on their initial launch, they had at best 500 apps. Now, apparently, we are supposed to be seeing something like 20,000 apps in the Windows Phone 7 store.
Possibly. Well, we had a quick look at the Windows Phone 7 store in Zune today. Because it's in the new release of Zune 4.7, which is available through Windows Update for those of you who have Zune released. But it's an optional, so you'll have to go looking for it. But they haven't started really populating the store yet. There's only a handful of apps in each category. Now, the other issue is that when people like Scoble go talking about apps, the guy is a freak. All right? He put up a post on Twitter the other day. It was, forgive me if I get the quote wrong, okay? But basically, it was this. Something about not liking people who say they love startups, not believing them. He said, if you don't have at least 1,000 apps, I think it was 1,000 apps, it was some ridiculous number of apps on your phone, you don't love startups. And I'm like, dude, this guy is off his trolley. Who uses 1,000 apps? I have maybe 60 apps on this thing, right? And I am an early adopter of all things. And out of the apps that I use on this, besides the ones that come built in, like the YouTube app, I use maybe 4. And with Windows Phone 7, the core functionality apps are either built in, like your Facebook integration and whatnot, or they're already there. Your Twitter, your RSS reader, the stuff that people want and need. They want their browser, their email, their Office, which is wonderful. in Phone 7. It's seamless. And you, of course, have the other stuff. And you've got your games and your Xbox Live. So where they're getting off with this concept, I really don't know. I have no idea whatsoever.
I don't know. I just
royally.
It's number one. Microsoft threw out the rule book when they created Windows Phone 7. It's all brand new territory for them, and you got to give them a little bit of leeway in that aspect. Not much, but some. Their marketing had better keep up to snuff because the typical Microsoft marketing sucks. That could really hurt them.
Sucks royally. But I don't want us to come off sounding like fanboys here. We stressed this on the weekend podcast, but I'm going to stress it here again. Windows Phone 7 has its failings on launch. For example, as I just pointed out, memory capacity. Also, cut and paste isn't there yet. You know what? I have cut and paste on this. I've had it for a long time. I never use it, but that's another story. We're not trying to say that Windows Phone 7 is the end-all and be-all of everything. It's not. We just want it to have the recognition that it deserves as a viable competitor to what's out there, which is exactly what it is. And one last thing. I want to make two small analogies, and you can either call me right or you can call me wrong on this, when it comes to people saying that Windows Phone 7 is going to fail because it's late to the game. First off, you never tell your son that he shouldn't go play football because there's already too many professional football players out there. There's always room on the pitch for one more player. Somebody will always get replaced by somebody who's better. And finally, did they ever tell the guys who started up Tesla in 2003, right, that they were nearly 200, or that they were, 1897 Renault rolled out their first car?
Yeah.
Right? Was it too late to be joining the market then? It's never too late if the product is good.
Yes. And on that exuberant note, that's the end of the show for today. It's Steve and Paul from WinExtra for another Daily Brief. We'll catch you all tomorrow, everybody. Have a good day.
Have a good one.
When I look out my window, many sights to see, that it's strange, so strange. You got to pick up every stitch. Must be the season of the witch. Must be the season of the witch, yeah. Must be the season of the witch.